I wanted continuous cash flow coming in. So yeah, the bag of money was fantastic. And the education I got on investments helped me to know how to intelligently invest the bag of money. But if the bag of money wasn't even there, the investments that we've done along the way from the surplus from our businesses is what we live on. So the goal for any business owner is to continually intelligently invest the surplus in things that give us cash flow. So that the income and eventually, and here's the challenge, because the income from our businesses is pretty substantial for those of us that are good operators. And I know that's everybody on this call or that will likely ever watch this call. We're all good operators. So the income that comes in from our business is a pretty tall stack of cash. So it takes a number of investments to replace that income. So that's why we must work on it regularly. So my mentor tells me I should be working on my wealth development about 20 hours a quarter. About 20 hours a quarter is what I'm working on my wealth development. It's what I've always worked on. So that's setting goals for different types of investments, determining what my asset allocation is, what are my buckets, and how much money, how much deployable cash, or they call it investable net worth, how much investable net worth do I have? And what am I going to allocate that investable net worth to? What buckets? Am I going to put it in the stock market? Am I going to put it into real estate, cash, bonds? Is it going to be liquid? Is it going to be not liquid, illiquid investments? All those things are things we need to consider. And there's a lot. You couldn't possibly invest in everything there is to invest in. You're going to figure out what your niche is. I choose to invest in things that I have an advantage in. With a capital A, we've talked about that many times. The goal for all of us is to get education so that we have advantages in certain buckets. I have no advantages, and I'll use this as an example. I have no advantages in the stock market, none at all. So in an area where I don't have advantages, my goal is to buy the whole market. So if I'm going to be in the stock market, I'm going to be in an index fund that covers the whole market, whatever market that might be, the whole S&P, the whole Dow, whether it's world stocks, Europe, I'm going to buy the whole market. And that way, and it's been proven over and over again, it's the rare individual that outruns the market in individual stock purchasing, right? That's a very, very difficult. You've got literally 3 or 4% of the people that do it, and that's thousands and thousands of people. And it's unlikely it'll be the same guy year after year. So what they've learned is, is buy the market and be in for the long haul, right? So that's where I don't have any advantages there. So that's not a big portion of my portfolio. So although I know people that it is, I sure would hate to be retiring in 2007 with a big portion of my portfolio in the stock market. Do you think my lifestyle would have changed just a little bit if that was my strategy? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, maybe I'm a greeter at Walmart a little bit longer than I anticipated, right? And I'm not, I know, hey, I'd actually have fun doing that job, quite frankly, but I'd want to do it because I want to do it, not because I have to do it, right? So, at the end of the day, that's not the only bucket we should be in. Although should a portion of our portfolio be in an index fund? Sure, absolutely. So the goal is to sit down and figure out, okay, how can I possibly distribute this surplus? We use the terminology, the raw terminology of stacking cash, right? We've all heard that. We're stacking cash. It means our businesses are doing well. We have surplus. That surplus should be intelligently invested into different things, that bring us mailbox money. Because of the education, I'm going to clear my throat here, forgive me. Okay, I'm better. So because of getting the education on that and distributing our cash into other things that provided mailbox money, when the phone call came, we weren't worried about that income disappearing or possibly outliving that bag of money. That makes sense, guys? Is that good stuff? Yes? Yeah? So the key thing is, here's the key thing is, there's no better time to do it than today. to than right now. We're sitting in almost at the middle of the fourth quarter, the middle of the fourth quarter. If you don't have an asset allocation plan, I would encourage you to develop one and to at least reasonably begin to implement that